Welcome to your new favorite podcast, Glow Big with Stephanie. I'm your host, Stephanie, and this podcast is for all women. We want to inspire and empower you. We're going to bring you style, humor, entertainment, good intentions, big ideas, hope, and a little bit of sobriety in each and every episode. You can get all that and more at vibewithstephanie.com. But right now, grab yourself a sparkly water, put it in a pretty glass or a coffee, and get comfy and enjoy the show. I cannot wait to introduce you to my guest today. This woman is a powerhouse, and I just love watching her slay. We connected instantly, when I first spoke to her about Savvy. I saw that she was in health and wellness. She was always wearing leggings, and I had to get to know her, and we became instant friends. But the more I got to watch her and learn, I realized what a freaking bombshell she is, and she is just inspiring and helping so many. So let's welcome Stephanie View to the show. Steph, did I just pronounce your last name correctly?
You did. Like nobody ever can do it.
I saw something about like it was your email address or something, and it was Holistic View. And I was like, that's how to pronounce it. What a great play on words.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, I just want to say like immediately how proud of you I am, how amazing that intro just was. I'm a podcaster also, and just I know we're going to get into this too, but like literally it is so inspiring. I love that there's such a huge movement in sobriety now, but it really takes, and I'm one of those people, and I've gone a little up and down with this, but it really takes a special person to be vulnerable, to like share this with other people. And you and I are exactly alike, where if I continue to share my journey, it keeps me on the right path. The second I stop, previously, anytime I would stop sharing that, I'd be like, I can moderate, I can manage, I can drink once a week. And it just does not work for people like us. So kudos to you. And I am so excited to be here.
Thank you so much. I have definitely found that sharing has kept me on the straight and narrow, given me a purpose. But it was hard at first because all I represented when I first started this was either a skincare line, and now I'm representing a athleisure and lifestyle company, and I was Savvy Stephanie, and that is all that I had. I felt like that's all I could talk about or be helpful to anyone for was athleisure. And I knew I had to find something. And a girlfriend of mine, Christina Watts, when I told her that I was getting sober, she's like, this is your thing. This is your thing. You finally found your thing. Yeah. And it really has become a purposeful movement. And I'm so thankful for it.
You know, and that's really the thing I teach women in business. And the hardest thing for people to do is to figure out who are they, right? And so finding out who you are, digging a little bit deeper, possibly hitting a rock bottom to find that purpose, you know, that's also really brave work. And so I love it. I love watching you. I love like every part of it. And I am all about relationship building and all of that. And, you know, we did connect right away, and I reached out to you because I have had a lot of people reach out to me that wanted me to sell Savvy, but you didn't do that. Like, I was like, listen, I'm just going to be super upfront. I want to buy the leggings. I've wanted to buy them forever, but everybody just wants me to join their team. They don't want to get to know me. They don't want to know if I love the leggings. They just want me to join their team. What do I need? Tell me what to buy. You know what I mean? And you were like, yeah, girl. So you're all about giving that red carpet treatment, which is also so important in business. Yes, you do great when you do your, you know, reels in your lives and all of that stuff. And you do awesome showcasing the clothing, and that's all incredible. But you really honestly, you know, did take the time to get to know me, which is why I've spent a good amount of money with you.
You are definitely one of my best customers. So that was a huge win. But I did take a genuine interest in you. I mean, your life is totally fascinating. And I know I only know bits and pieces, but would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am 42 years old. I'm from Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, we know how to party. That's what we do, right? My husband actually had once he started coming to Wisconsin or getting to know people and knowing some of the backstories of people, he was like, so wait, are like DUIs a rite of passage for people here in Wisconsin? I grew up in the bar scene with divorced parents. I was very, very grown for my age. I started drinking at a very young age and, bartended for many years. And that's who I was. I was the party girl. I was the coordinator of the city. I knew everybody. Everybody knew me. I could walk in anywhere and they would just have my drink ready, and then I moved to Virginia when I met my husband. And like at that moment, I was 31 or 32 years old. Like I really started like my journey of healing and becoming who I'm truly meant to become, right? I don't have a 4-year degree. I was in and out of local college. I went to school to be a dental assistant and I loved it and I was great at that. But really finding who I wanted to be, especially when I became a mom. Once I became a mom, my son is 8 years old. I was like, listen, I need to do something. At first it was like, maybe I should do eyelashes and open a lash bar. And, there were so many different things that I wanted to do. But when he was 4 months old, I sent him to daycare, went back to my dental job 3 days a week. And it was just like a couple weeks in and I was like, I'm not going to do this. I waited my whole life to become a mom. I got to figure it out. And so that's when I started my first business. And during that time, drinking, it's just such a part of who I was. I didn't know any other identity, right? Even though I was doing all of these huge things and teaching other women, all of the things and empowerment and whatever, there still was that one thing I couldn't give up. I could give up cocaine. I could give up pills. I could give up all the things, but drinking was my identity. I was a blast. I was, whatever. But what people didn't realize is, I wonder what time I stopped remembering last night. I wonder how many more shots, I've done so much damage to my brain and my body. So that's also why during the healing process, I got very involved in the holistic world, taking supplements. So thank God I've been repairing as I was still damaging, but that's kind of the story. I now have started my third business and I teach spin and I podcast and I'm 100%, since my son was basically 4.5 months old, I've been my own boss and I teach others how to do the same.
I love it. And you are kicking butt and helping so many. I love the third business that you're in. I thought for sure I was going to try it for 1 month. Okay, I'll try for one more month. Okay, I'll try for one more month. Now I'm on my 4th month with your product. And I think it's single-handedly healing my face, like the smoker line that I had around my mouth. My hair is getting longer, my belly. Yeah, it's insane. So what is the third business that you're doing right now?
Okay, so the third business, so I started with Beachbody. That was very what a lot of people did back then. The funny part about that is, so I did that. I did the 21-day fix, as a lot of people did. And then after I did that, I'm very open book, and I was sharing my progress along the way. And then my coach, she actually grew up with my little brother. She's like, dude, you got to sign up. You need to do this. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And what is this? I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't know how to sell anything, And for 6 months, I sent her swarms of people. And then she was like, hey, listen, you would have made X amount of money. And I was like, okay. Anyways, I did that. I went to the top of the company and then realized, compensation plans and better products and things like that along the way. So anyways, my main gig, if you will, is selling collagen and fat loss products. I'm not a diet pill person. I do not support things like that. It's all about science and why things are made, and specifically fat loss over weight loss. And so I now am doing Modair, selling collagen and household items and lip plumper and all of the things. And it just is unbelievable. I started that. I actually ordered the product to debunk it. I feel like I was like you, where you're like, okay, yeah, sure. It's so great. I had never, ever taken one scoop, swig, whatever of collagen before that, because I had studied it so hard. And I'm like, okay, it's a bunch of fillers. It's, not absorbing, people aren't seeing results. And so anyways, I bought it to debunk it. And I now, I was able to surpass my other business, the income and the impact. That's what's most important to me, is really the impact that it's having on my customers, their ability to earn credits and save money, and then the team that I'm, building, and the financial side that they are able to see being a leader is very lonely if you're the only one making money. And so now it's a different scenario where everybody's doing great, and it's so exciting and really contagious.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I love that I don't sell it, obviously,
Yeah.
but as a customer, when people start asking, which is all the time now,
Yeah.
you're glowing, how'd you lose your belly?
Yes, the glow, girl. I'm like, I don't have like a light on my face right now. This is just my skin.
Yeah, I get asked all the time. And just by sharing, when they purchase, I get more credits. So I'm going to probably keep this going forever because they, my credits, my own stash is getting paid for by my girlfriends who want to get the glow too. So it's really cool.
I love it.
What is the biggest way that drinking has improved your professional life?
So for me, the sober curious journey, if you will, kind of began. So I'm actually divorced, but back with my ex, right? AJ's dad. And as soon as we split is really when I really slowed down my drinking. Barely drank at all during that time. And then kind of went up and down, had those, it's just once a week. And okay, but I drank 5% beers and did all the shot, and then I didn't drink for 6 months straight. And then we moved to Florida as a family together again, just this last July. And it was like, all right, because all we knew as a couple too was drinking, but it was everything I didn't want. And it was like, well, let's just try to like moderate. And then I was triggered by him, and then I would drink more, and, all of the things. And so just nothing good has come out of it ever. So I'm on day 97 today.
Yes, girl.
97 today. And I'm a different person. And this time was a little bit harder for me. This time, the only way I knew that I would really quit is that I told my son. I was like, dude, mommy's not going to drink anymore, and then Chad also made the decision, and he was ecstatic when his dad told him. And like, even I was gone on an incentive trip last weekend. Could I have drank? Would AJ have ever known? Sure. But I am a very, very, very honest person with myself and anybody else, and God especially. And so I just know that this is it, and I'm more focused. A lot of, even though I'm a boss and all of the things I do really well in business, I still have many, many fears. Fear of abundance, fear of what if I lose all of this, fear of, whatever. And I'm kind of getting rid of those fears as I'm getting rid of the alcohol. It takes a long time for it to leave your system. People don't understand that. And so I'm excited to just continue to blast forward, even if it was at once a week. I mean, that can stay with you for days and days and days, and unproductive, and, the guilt, the emotional, that roller coaster. So losing it's been a good thing.
I read that it takes 15 days for one glass of wine to leave your brain chemistry. And at the amount that I was drinking every night, I mean, there was no moderating for me. And if I did moderate, or I'm not going to drink on Wednesday, I was counting the days when I'm going to drink again. And it was miserable. So to break that pattern altogether is just so freeing, and really does help you dispel the shame and the fear. And I'm going to Mexico in April. And at first I was like, this is going to be awful. But now I'm actually so excited to be sober in Mexico. I probably won't sweat and be as profusely disgusting because there's no alcohol trying to get out of my system, and I'll remember stuff and I'll have more energy. I mean, we were taking naps every day at like 1.
Yeah. You got to take the nap to be able to do the night drinking.
Yep.
At 9 a.m.
Yep. Ordering in chicken wings, and not that we won't do that now, but because we're going to order all the food. We've got more room for the food. So, so it's exciting.
And are you all going, or are you leaving Matt behind?
I am earning this trip for us all. I earned it last year, all inclusive for everybody, the flights, the hotel, everything. And so this year I've already earned my own spot and flight, but I've got to earn them, and I cannot leave them behind because they're my number one supporters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I really, that's the most cool part about this for me, is realizing on a Friday night when we're watching a movie that I'm like, oh shit. How many times I've been like, hey buddy, you want to watch this movie? And he's like, Mom, we've seen that. And I'm like, oh,
we have. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
is it good? Like, and then playing that off, like, and they're not done.
Yeah. Connection with them has been connection with Maverick. It's no longer annoying when he walks into a room and asks me to do something, or, I used to push him aside because I used to drink wine and smoke cigarettes out on the back porch. So anything he wanted was like an annoyance. And I just feel, I don't know if I'll ever get over that guilt and shame.
You will.
But now we're out rollerblading and biking and all the things.
Oh my gosh, I got rollerblades yesterday, girl, and I'm practicing around my table right now because but he'll forget that.
It was important to me to quit before his memory was in full effect. So how do you keep yourself inspired every day to do all of the amazing things that you do?
I am inspired by helping other people, just period. I never want people to feel like they're not good enough or, any of those things. And so a couple of things for me, it's very important that I'm up before AJ. I get up pretty early. I have my own time in the morning so that when it's time for him to get up and get ready, we're not like, well, come on, hurry, and, that's important for me. And exercise is very important to me. Teaching spin has been very important to me. I haven't been doing that since I moved here, but I'm going to be starting that next week.
Congratulations. That's super exciting.
You'll have to come. So filling my cup is how I stay inspired.
Good one.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that necessity or think it's selfish sometimes or, whatever, but like I get my nails done every 2 weeks. I, get pedicures. I, work out. And now, I used to be, I still am a little bit. I used to be a workaholic, a perfectionist. I'm going to sit at my computer until I get every single thing done, and trying to change all of the dynamic in our home. Now I'm trying to be done working by the time AJ's home from school and watch TV. I haven't watched TV in 7 years, and so all of these things are different, and not working at night is hard for me still a little bit, but really, really taking the time to know what's important and always filling my cup with Jesus in the morning. As soon as I wake up, even sometimes before I open my eyes, my hands are clasped and I'm praying in case I don't have time later in the day. So those are kind of my things.
That is amazing. And that's a reoccurring theme, guys. If you haven't picked up on it yet, the women bosses say in order to prevent burnout and to keep themselves inspired, it is about self-care and pouring into themselves. And also the time blocking has been mentioned a couple of times. And that's still something I'm trying to work on, because I could pick up my phone before I'm out of bed and go until midnight and just always find something. And it's not working. So I know that, and I'm working on it hard, and I've even hired an assistant. So even if you have to outsource, that's where I thought, something's got to give. What can this be? And so I've done that. And I think that's going to help a lot.
100% of continued success is what is something someone else can do better. And like, I'm a little bougie these days. Like when I first moved to Virginia, it was like, oh, who's your nanny? Who's your, who cleans your house? And I was like, duh, me, and now it's like, Chad's happy to go to the store and stuff like that. But even when he's going to the grocery store, I'm like, why? Just Instacart, like it's Amazon for me. It's Instacart for me. I have a guy that picks up the poop in the yard, and Chad thought that was funny. But then the first day he came, he was like so grateful that we hired him. And I was like, if he is that excited about picking up the poop, it is something I'm willing to pay. We have a lawn guy, and, I'm at a point now where I can afford those things, and it helps me, because in order for me to be done by the time that AJ's home from school, there are certain things. It's kind of a rolling joke, or maybe not, but like, I don't make dinner, Chad. I'm like, listen, if y'all want to eat dinner, that's on you, because I am grinding from, it was from the time I woke up till 11:30 every single night. And so I'm like the front of the house manager at a restaurant, right? Like, I get AJ ready for school. I get the breakfast, I get the lunch packed, I take him to school, I pick him up from school, like do all the things. And I do bedtime. So I still do the end of the house things, but dinner, that's, his deal. Grocery shopping, he likes to do that. So that's another compromise, making sure that you're supported too. Like I did it on my own for a few years and I'm good at doing stuff on my own, but it's also helpful to have those things that somebody else can do better.
Absolutely. Delegating. And it doesn't have to be a costly thing.
No.
I was surprised at how much it was going to cost me to finally have some help and get me off my computer, because it's important for me when Maverick comes home that I can drop my phone and just calm down for a couple of hours and spend it with him. And then I do pick it back up at the end of or later on in the night, but that's okay because I just spent like 3 solid hours with him. Yeah. So what is your favorite book?
Okay, I have 3. I would say that changed a lot for me. The number one is The Miracle Morning.
Oh yes, I read that. I didn't read that, but I did all the I found it online.
Yep. Even the book, I would still say read it. It is fantastic. The other, I'm very, very into my faith now, but for a long time, part of my process was, I was like, oh yeah, the universe. And I'm very aware of energies and stuff like that. So I really love Gabby Bernstein. She is a believer, but she will say the universe or ing or whatever to really, speak to everybody, but the universe has your back. That one's fantastic. And The Energy Bus, because I have not always been this ray of sunshine. I was happy to be negative Nancy or, I don't know. So yeah, those 3 definitely are super powerful and good reads, easy reads.
I gave that energy bus to my fiance because he likes to just watch the news and just fill himself with all this stuff. And he doesn't realize what kind of doom and gloom that brings around the house. Yeah. And so I'm like, here, this book is not for me. This is actually for you. Please
Let's have him follow some pages that we might follow instead of the news.
Seriously, God. I mean, one Sunday morning he had on something just crazy. I saw an image that I'll just never forget. I'm like, I cannot have this on my TV. If you want to watch the news, do it on your phone in a secret cave somewhere, but it can't be here. I can't try to instill all this positivity into Maverick while he's, it's just not going to work. So yes. Okay. And then your favorite podcast?
Oh, I listen to a lot of podcasts. One that I really, really love and I love sharing with my team is The Chic Influencer.
Ooh.
It's Melanie Mitro, who is actually she was the number 1 Beachbody coach forever. And they have a book and a whole community called Chic Influencer. They just have so much great information. I sent you one of the podcasts, right? I believe. Yeah. Anyway, she's fantastic. She, really teaches the importance of not burning out, not hustling so hard all the time, things like that. And then, I love my podcast and I love people like Gary V or Andy that. I've been listening to him that created 75 Hard. I tend to be driven by people that are just do it, you just have to do it. So those are some of my faves.
I do remember you sending me that and I've opened it and I don't remember how far I got to it, but you did send me a link to that.
Yeah.
And I'm just everywhere with the technology and what to do and what to read and what.
I know. Yep.
So I had you on. You're one of my very first guests on this podcast, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. Awesome. You make me calm and inspired. And I'm just so happy that you said yes to being here.
Of course.
Tell me quickly, and then I will wrap it up because I don't want to take up too much time, but what is the best advice to a woman who's considering starting a side gig like Savvy or Modere? What would you say to someone who may be back and forth about it?
I think 100% you have to vibe with a person. So I love how you said in the beginning, I was just Savvy Steph, I think it's very important for people to brand themselves because also people pivot. It's very important to find the vehicle that's right for you, that speaks to you, that if it's the thing that you can't stop thinking about, then it's the thing that you should do. You also want to make sure that you understand the compensation plan. You want to make sure that you understand the products. And if it's, these days, you really have to be careful of what you're representing. Don't just believe the company, do your research. If you don't know how to do that, ask somebody that does, somebody you trust, and then know that, is the person that you're going to join with going to be there for you? Because they're not always, for sure. So I feel like you kind of know when you know.
Oh, good one. Trust your gut.
Yeah.
All right, Steph. Well, what's your Instagram handle and a website if you have one so people can follow you?
Sure. It's Steph_View, and it's V as in Victor, IEAU, all the vowels. I do have a website. It's holisticview.com. I don't really ever send people there, but all that. But yeah, you can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Steph View as well. And I'm always happy to chat.
Amazing. Okay. And guys, for more inspo, tips, and support, you can go to vibewithstephanie.com. And our Facebook community is Sober Vibes with Stephanie. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much, Steph.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out with us today on Glow Big. We hope you're leaving empowered and happy and ready to take on the world. For more information, you can go to vibewithstephanie.com. And if you're interested in taking the 30-day Sober Up to Glow Up course, just click Sober Up to Glow Up course for more information. Have a great day.